While hiking deep in the Appalachian Mountains, this person came across something unsettling. In a quiet clearing surrounded by towering trees stood a strange structure, almost ritualistic. Curious, the hikers snapped a photo, but when they looked back at the image later, they noticed something they hadn't seen before. A dark figure standing in the trees, watching. The hikers swore no one was there. They had been completely alone, or so they thought. So who or what was watching them that day? Reddit user Individual Insect 722 got a Ring camera alert early one morning. Expecting maybe an animal, they checked the footage and saw this. A person fully dressed in white, wandering around their property. They had just moved to a remote area. No nearby neighbors, no foot traffic. Their house sits alone on a fenced hill, surrounded by a thick forest. They'd felt a little uneasy before, but this was something else entirely. So, who was out there, and how did they get onto the property? A Reddit user once shared what looked like a normal forest photo. Just dry leaves and twigs, nothing out of the ordinary. But look closer. Hidden in plain sight was a copperhead snake, perfectly camouflaged with its surroundings. One wrong step, and that peaceful hike could have ended very differently. A man was camping in the Appalachian Mountains in his caravan when this happened. He noticed the door of his caravan opening and closing by itself. There was no wind, no storm, nothing that could have caused it. It seemed so deliberate, like something unseen was pushing it. The camper stayed inside in fear until it finally calmed down, then drove off. While exploring a remote cave deep in the Appalachian Mountains, Reddit user JTS4 experienced something truly chilling. At the time, the cave felt unnaturally silent, not even a drip of water, just pure stillness. But when he later reviewed his GoPro footage, he heard this.
It leaves. The mud just broke off as I left.
A distant, blood-curdling scream. He hadn't heard a sound in person, yet the recording picked it up loud and clear. Other Redditors said it sounded like something straight out of a horror film.
It leaves. It leaves.
Some say it was a trapped animal, a mountain lion, a hog, maybe a fox, but others think it sounded too human. So, what was screaming from the darkness? For 2 nights in a row, a family heard screams echoing through the forest. At first they brushed it off, but then they heard it on the roof and things got real.
Oh, damn. Holy shit. All right. Some bitch is one on the other side of the house.
Some whispered about skinwalkers. Others said it might be a wild animal or even a mountain lion. But things got weirder. On the opposite side of the house, they found an animal skeleton without blood or any clear cause. Updates haven't been shared, leaving us all wondering. This photo was taken deep in the Appalachian Mountains. A solo hiker was making his way up a rocky trail when the mist began to roll in. He paused to snap a photo of the fog-covered ridge ahead. But later, while reviewing it, he noticed something chilling. A figure, barely visible, standing on the rocks in the distance. The hiker swears no one was there at the time. The area was completely still. So who or what was standing in the mist that day? Was someone following him, or did he capture a shadow figure? In 2017, a hiker known as Mostly Harmless began walking the Appalachian Trail from New York to Florida. He carried no ID, no phone, just a notebook full of handwritten code. Along the way, he introduced himself as Denim, or Mostly Harmless. He traveled alone, but people who met him described him as friendly, quiet, and strangely off the grid. Trail angels offered him food, water, even showers. He accepted with quiet gratitude. Then, in July 2018, 2 hikers discovered a tent deep in the Florida wilderness. Inside was a man's body, curled up in his sleeping bag. No signs of violence or struggle. His food had run out, and at just 83 pounds, his body showed signs of starvation. But since he carried no ID or phone, there was no way to trace him. For over 2 years, no one knew who he was. Despite clear photos, fingerprints, and hundreds of tips, he remained a mystery. It wasn't until 2021 that DNA testing finally revealed his identity: Vance Rodriguez, a tech worker from New York with a troubled past. Why he vanished into the woods is still unknown, but for many, he will always be remembered as Mostly Harmless. A woman who lives on a large, gated, fenced-off farm with no surrounding neighbors in the Appalachian Mountains recorded this creepy video. She says she doesn't think she knows these girls and that it's very unlikely for 2 girls to be around there at that time. Many believe these 2 aren't even human. They think they're skinwalkers, changing forms to lure you outside your home. Given the strangeness of anyone being around, the woman couldn't fully disagree. This man was out walking his dog through the woods when he stumbled across something bizarre. Tucked away in the underbrush was a small device, making strange sounds. At first, it just sounded like static, but then the pattern became clear. A voice speaking what a friend later identified as Mandarin. The whole thing felt off, and to this day, no one knows what it was or who placed it there. A person was staying in a cabin in the mountains when they were startled by something truly mind-baffling. At first glance, the footage seemed to show a spider crawling across a surface, but a closer look revealed something far more disturbing. The spider wasn't alive at all. It was under the control of a parasitic fungus called the cordyceps, the same fungus that inspired the infection in The Last of Us. Once the spores infect their host, they hijack the body and brain, turning the creature into a puppet. The fungus grows until it kills the host. And the eeriest part, the spider doesn't even realize it's being controlled, slowly dying as it moves. A girl doing a scream therapy session let out a loud shriek deep in the woods. Then, this happened. A man suddenly appeared in the frame, startled and clearly in the middle of doing his business. The timing was perfect, and the panic way too real. While clearing out an old homeless encampment deep in the woods, Reddit user HollyWizzle311 came across something eerie. Among the scattered trash and broken belongings lay a weathered wooden cross, and attached to it, something that looked disturbingly like a piece of spine. No note, no context, no one around. Whatever the story was, it left more questions than answers. A woman living in the Appalachian Mountains was home alone when she recorded this video and shared it on TikTok. In the Appalachian Mountains, the rule is simple. If you hear it, you didn't. And that's not the only rule out here. If you hear a name being called in the woods, don't answer. Don't look out the window at night if you hear tapping. Never whistle after dark. Stay on the trail always. If something seems almost human, it isn't. Don't talk about it too much. Make sure you remember that next time you visit Appalachia. In July 2008, a boy was filming in the Rocky Mountains when he caught something odd in the sky.
It's an alien. Oh my god, look at that. What is that?
No, take a picture. Take a picture.
I know I am. It's crazy. Whoa.
Oh, it's a video you're taking?
Whoa, there it goes.
The ring floated quietly above the mountains. No one around could explain it. Soon after, the video started spreading and people couldn't agree on what it was. Some guessed it was a portal or something from another dimension. There were no planes nearby, no wildfires, nothing that could make a smoke ring like that. Even now, no one really knows what he saw that day. Was it edited? A friend group had rented a remote cabin in the Appalachian Mountains for a weekend getaway. The place was peaceful, surrounded by dense woods that seemed to stretch on forever. One night, while relaxing in the hot tub under the moonlit sky, a deep, echoing noise suddenly rolled in from somewhere deep within the forest.
Yeah, that was a car. Shit. Who's the aliens, bro?
I said
Caitlin. I think it's a train.
Es que porque suena así a la verga.
But that's just scary.
Okay, do you guys want to go inside?
No. Es que dicen que no va a pasar nada, pero...
Stop. I'm recording this shit.
At the time, they had no idea the Appalachian woods were known for strange disappearances and eerie sightings. Luckily, they decided to leave the tub shortly after and went back inside safely. Dustin Frazier, a TikTok creator and a friend, went exploring Elkmont in the Appalachian Mountains, a long abandoned place wrapped in ghost stories and eerie legends. But things took a weird turn fast.
Now she fucking works. Okay. Maybe she's just cold. I'm cold. A closet. Is there anything in it? No. Okay. That's not a toilet.
They don't be turning it like that. Did you see me?
Oh, lights out again.
Chad, is this where people go?
There's a hot water heater back there. But
In this house.
also, my question is, what are they trying to keep out? You're like bears, fucking bears.
Fucking black bears, yeah. The North American black bears. They're nosy little fuckers.
First, the lights begin to flicker with no reason why. Then came the strange noises. And then, this happened.
Oh, these things.
What the fuck was that?
As panic set in, they ran, and that's when they saw it. A figure watching them.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck? Fucking run! What the fuck? Go, 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 go. Where the fuck did it go?
They jumped in the car and drove off, but the figure kept reappearing. Was it all a prank, or were they in the wrong place at the wrong time? A hiker was hiking the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina when they stumbled upon something unexpected at the top. Suddenly, they found an old graveyard with headstones, but no signs or fences marking it. It wasn't on any maps, and he couldn't find any information about it. He never discovered the story behind the graves, but the chilly atmosphere was enough to leave a lasting impression. While living deep in the mountains, over 500 kilometers from the nearest beach, this couple never expected what they'd find one early morning. Around 5 a.m., the wife walked into the kitchen for a glass of water. That's when she screamed. Her husband rushed in and froze at the sight. A massive crab, just crawling across the floor. There were no open doors and no clue how it got there. Some say it could have hitched a ride in a box, but still, how did the crab end up inside? A man went hiking in Appalachia when he came across something truly unusual. So intriguing, he decided to film this video about him. Take a look.
Do you hitchhike with bare feet?
In the summertime, yes, but not in the wintertime. It's not healthy to go barefoot in the wintertime.
No driver's license, no identification. What about social security card?
I don't have one. No, my parents did establish a social security number for me, and the card said not valid unless signed. So I never signed it, and then I studied the issue, and I decided to revoke my social security number.
So in a way, you don't exist.
Yeah, and I had a birth certificate, but there was a flood and it washed away, so I don't have that either. I don't exist in the eyes of the government, but I do exist in the lives of people that know me and my Father in heaven.
I have no clue what happened to Titus. He took off somewhere out there.
This mysterious man had no ID, no documents, nothing at all. The hiker continued his hike in disbelief about who he had just met, not knowing who he actually had just crossed paths with. Less than half a mile into a 2021 section hike on the Appalachian Trail, this hiker started hearing eerie sounds. Every hair stood on end. The trail was empty, and the sound grew closer, like something massive was moving just beyond the trees. Luckily, it was just cows. Apparently, not everything out there is something dark after all, but still, be careful. Back in 1994, a woman and her family were camping near the deep woods of Columbia County, Ohio. Around midnight, a long, chilling howl pierced the silence. It was loud enough to wake them, and creepy enough to make them pack up and leave immediately. But before they left, they managed to record the sound. didn't match any known animal, deep, drawn out, with a strange pitch shift halfway through, almost like it was trying to communicate. Some thought it was a wolf, others said a human, but wildlife experts had no match for it. The clip later became famous as the Ohio Howl, a possible Bigfoot recording. Then, in July 2022, another eerie howl surfaced from Ohio. Not long after, a Reddit user shared another recording from the same area. What do you think? Is it just normal wildlife or something more mysterious? They say you're never alone in the Appalachian Mountains, and a man who's lived there for years swears by it. Late one night, he recorded this terrifying video. A figure, still as stone, was just standing there. But there were no footprints, no signs anyone had been there, just silence. He then just keeps the lights low and the curtains closed. It's terrifying. But is it real? A man living alone on the Appalachian Trail noticed something strange one night from his cabin window.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that in the woods? Hello? Hello?
A pair of red eyes staring directly at him. They didn't seem like animals, but they weren't human either. It wasn't his first eerie encounter out there, and it probably wouldn't be the last. Sydney, a solo traveler, returned to one of her first campsites deep in the Appalachian woods. When she arrived, the place was completely empty. She set up camp and began cooking some rice and chicken. Suddenly, she heard this.
Is that?
A strange sound echoed through the trees. Still, she decided to stay the night. Thankfully, nothing happened. A solo hiker recorded a video during a trip through the Appalachian woods, offering no background, just the raw moment. While the forest looks ordinary, the sound is anything but. A human voice can be heard begging for help, but it sounded off. The hiker didn't follow the sound or offer any explanation. This video remains shrouded in mystery. In 2011, a family vacationing in the Smoky Mountains, Tennessee, captured something strange on camera. The man filming noticed movement in the background. Moments later, it appeared again, this time hiding behind the bushes.
What's he doing?
The family believed it was Bigfoot. The area, especially near Klingman's Dome, is steep and rugged, not easy terrain for someone faking a sighting in costume. And in these mountains, sightings like this aren't rare. A man who lives near the Appalachian Mountains typically goes hiking in the area by himself and had never experienced anything unusual until this one time. He recorded a scream he had never heard before. It could have just been wildlife, but it sounded so unnatural to him. Was this his first creepy Appalachian encounter? In 2014, a group of kids was playing in the snowy woods when one of them spotted something strange near a treehouse.
Nice. Anything happening? What is that? What? Whoa. Oh! What? It's like a bear! Oh! What is it? Crap, where is it? Oh my god. What is it? Oh god, I saw it again. It looks like a Bigfoot. Oh god, it's there again. Is it Bigfoot? Oh shit. Oh. I see it. It better not be invading our house.
While filming, they caught a massive dark figure walking upright through the trees. At first, they assumed it was a bear, but the footage told a different story. The figure vanished quickly, but not before leaving behind huge human-like footprints in the snow. Was it Bigfoot? In June 2020, Jimmy Reynolds noticed two glowing green eyes staring at him from the woods near his porch. Living in the forest, he figured it was probably just a common animal. As he moved closer, the figure quickly retreated into the darkness.
Oh. See, there it is. Hey. Oh, what the f***? You'll see that.
Feeling uneasy, he headed back inside, aware of the dark stories the woods might hide. Many viewers speculated it could be a creature like a skinwalker or a crawler, but Jimmy stayed calm, reassuring himself it was probably just a cat. A trail cam set up near the Greenbrier River Valley in West Virginia captured something unusual. It showed what many people believe could be Bigfoot. The image was taken just miles from the man's home, in a region deep within the Appalachian Mountains, known for decades of strange sightings. Locals talk about eerie howls echoing at night, and massive footprints in the woods. Could this trail cam have caught Bigfoot on camera? Deep in the Appalachian woods, a group stumbled upon this.
Alright guys, check this out. We're out here in the middle of the woods, and we found this tunnel. Dude, look at this. Oh, there's wind. Whoa, they're like formation steps. Look at this.
Though the entrance was blocked by debris, a steady breeze blew through the cracks, hinting that the passage led somewhere open. The place felt eerie, unnatural even, like it wasn't meant to be found. They never found out why it was there. Around 2:45 in the morning, a TikToker captured this video in the Appalachian foothills. When they later brightened the footage, they saw something frightening. Nothing should have been moving there. Not at that hour, not in that kind of place. But in the footage, something shadowy crosses the trail. And according to the person filming, they didn't hear or see anyone around. To this day, they remain confused by what they captured. Back in January 2022, a hunter on an expedition in the Appalachian Mountains captured this.
Stupid to walk out here in a suit. Get shot. He's right behind that tree. The big one. Look. And his hair's gray and black. Is that gray? Or is that snow?
The video shows a large figure moving slowly between the trees. Unfortunately, the figure stays partially hidden behind the trees, making it hard to identify who or what this hunter captured that day. Hiker M.A. Journey set out to reach an old hunter's cabin hidden deep in the mountains. But as darkness crept in, he realized he was still far from his destination. Luckily, he stumbled across an old, abandoned tree shelter, just in time. He decided to set up camp there for the night. It became clear he'd made the right call. A pack of wolves began to circle nearby. If he had pushed on to find the cabin that night, things could have ended very differently. A couple was camping near the Carnton Plantation in Franklin, Tennessee. During their trip, they decided to visit the historic site and snap some photos, including this one. In the picture, they noticed what looked like a Civil War-era woman. The figure appeared transparent, and there was nothing in the field that could explain her presence. After asking around, they learned that the field was once where many bodies were left after the battle. Locals believe the figure could be a grieving woman, still searching for a lost loved one. A tragic but haunting story. While hiking in the mountains, a group of hikers spotted something unusual far off on a ridge. Curious, they started filming with their phones, zooming in to get a better look. The figure appeared to be walking upright, but it looked too large to be human. Unfortunately, the footage they captured was distant and blurry, making it hard to make out exactly what they saw. A hiker was filming his walk when a bear started chasing their dogs. They noticed the bear charging and quickly used bear spray to protect themselves and their dogs. The spray effectively deterred the bear, causing it to retreat. Luckily, everyone was unharmed. For more scary Appalachia videos, watch this one.